As we mentioned, advanced polls open today for Montreal's municipal election, and we're 1 week away from the big voting day. Justine McIntyre is a political analyst. She joins us now. Hi, Justine.
Hi, Kelly.
So last election, only 1/3 of eligible voters cast a ballot. Do you expect this one to be any different?
I would hope that it would be different. Unfortunately, my expectation might not meet my hope. It's not a campaign that has generated a tremendous amount of interest. There haven't been any really big dramatic moments, no knockout punches, as we say. The candidates are not quite as well known as the candidates were last time around when we had a rematch against Valérie Plante, Denis Coderre. Voters were very motivated to get out and vote, and even so, we didn't break the 40% mark here on the island of Montreal. So this time around, with candidates that aren't quite as well known, no big ticket items on the ballot this time around, I'm expecting the numbers to unfortunately stay around that 30-40% mark.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about it. It's been essentially a relatively tame election compared to the last few. You know, we had the first female mayor, we had Denis Coderre with his promises for the 375th anniversary of the city. So you think there's not that same level of interest? There's no buzz really this time?
There's just not as much buzz. We also had candidates who were presenting kind of big ticket, what I refer to as big ticket items. We had Denis Coderre talking about a baseball stadium. We had Valérie Plante presenting us with the pink line. And even though neither of those things materialized in the end, they were still big projects that got Montrealers talking. They got Montrealers dreaming and thinking about the future of the city in a different way. So this time around, the campaign seems to really be focused on basic services, dealing with the homelessness crisis, dealing with the affordability crisis, and restoring cleanliness to the city of Montreal.
Well, to that end, do you think the reason there is no big promises is because they failed to get them done? You mentioned the pink line, you mentioned the baseball stadium. So are people trying to manage the expectations now?
Kelly, that's a really good point because there is a little bit of voter cynicism about what it's possible to actually get done in Montreal, given the state of the streets, the state of construction that we see everywhere, all of the things that haven't been attended to, the homelessness crisis that just keeps growing and is more and more visible with encampments. And until we're able to take care of those things collectively as a city, I don't think anybody's ready for any big, bright, shiny projects.
So we're 7 days away. How important is this last week of campaigning for the candidates? What are you expecting from them this week?
So because we're in the last week, I don't think we're going to be hearing many new promises. They've all come out now. Well, all, I'm saying all. I saw the two main contenders, Ensemble Montréal, Projet Montréal, came out with their budgets for how much their campaign promises are going to cost. So we're expecting to see them really more double down on things that they've already announced to really reinforce their message, make it clear to voters exactly who they are and why we should be voting for them. But I'm not expecting anything new. So expect more of the same that we've seen for the past month, but maybe with a little more firmness. And of course, they're going to be working hard to contact all of their supporters and get out the vote.
And perhaps a little more cautious. I mean, how important is it to not make a mistake right now? Because that will stick with voters a week before the election.
Absolutely. They've got to play it safe in this last week. And, we have seen a candidate who was taken off the ballot, Alexandre Giasson for Ensemble Montréal. There's another candidate, a problematic candidate with Transition Montréal, Sergio de Silva, but it looks like he's sticking around. So they'll be trying to avoid any new scandals, any new issues with any of the candidates. And I think, as I said, just really reminding Montrealers of the importance of what it is that their party is proposing. So, it depends on where your priorities lie as a voter, but you're going to want to go and check those political platforms and see what each of them has said. Voters have had plenty of opportunity to hear them in debates as well. So I'm hoping that Montrealers will get out and vote.
All right. Well, Justine, the countdown is on. We thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you, Kelly.